it's relatively simple. I'm going to give you my rankings. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm coming. Left my drink downstairs. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what time it is. We've done this video the past couple years on the channel. I'm giving you my final MBG college football playoff rankings. As you can see, I decided to already draw out the bracket for you. Oh, whoa. Why are we zoomed in, Bobby? There we go. As you can see, like I was saying before I got interrupted, decided to draw the bracket out for you as the College Football Playoff Committee has had it. In the entire season, I've had a lot of people say, Matt, why haven't you been doing it? Because it doesn't matter until the final day because you didn't know who's going to be the 4 conference champions. Well, now it does matter because we know the conference champions. So we kind of have a good guess of who's going to be here. Although there still is some mixed opinions and whatnot. But yeah, I've watched some film. It's been about an hour since the Clemson game, SMU game. It's controversial, and y'all know it is, and you know what we're going to get to. This, or not just this, but these rankings from top to bottom was not easy for me. Took a lot of thinking, but I'm ready to make the video. I'm ready to go. I just hope you guys can respect my rankings, and I feel like I'm missing something, but yeah, it's relatively simple. I'm going to give you my rankings. Let me know your thoughts down below. And by the way, I will be doing a live reaction to the college football rankings. I believe they come out tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., 12 Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. I will be filming my live reaction, so coming back tomorrow for that. Yeah, there's a lot to get into, you know, the whole SMU debate, Alabama debate. But first things first, I say we start on with these first 4 and kind of work our way back because we know these 4, they're getting in no matter what. They win a conference, and then you got the 5th. But I'm going to give you my top 4 overall seeds. And one thing, too, I want people at home to understand and realize. So Texas is going to go down in these rankings. Like, I think they're ranked 2nd in the country right now. I had Georgia say, oh, yeah, by the way, I've had Georgia ranked 2nd in my rankings the past 3 weeks or past couple weeks. And everybody's been like, oh, well, why does Matt have Georgia number 2? He doesn't know ball. He doesn't know ball. Oh, really? Well, guess where they're going to be ranked more likely? Number 2. Go figure. I digress. I'm not even going to toot my own horn. I just find it comical. People's like, why does Matt have Georgia number 2? Because I told you all year long. I never understood why Texas was ranked ahead of, I don't care that one loss. They didn't beat Georgia. It wasn't even close. So that's why I always had Georgia ahead of Texas. And, well, they proved it yet again. They're better than Texas, so they should be ranked ahead of them. I have been too. They're going to finish at 2 more likely. Drop the marker. Let's get into these rankings. Hold on. Oh yeah, too. Forgot to explain this. Let me get it real close so y'all can see. I don't think the glare is too bad. 12. I wrote the numbers in red. You can see it pretty good, right? 12 and 5, 9 and 8, 11 and 6, 10 and... Oh, y'all can't even see it at the bottom. It's because I pulled it up. At the bottom here, 10 and 7. Then 4, 1, 3, 2. So this is the first round. We're going to start over here first with 4 and working our way up. We'll use the blue marker since it is my newest one. We have made some investments on the channel. At number 1, it's undisputable. Nobody's going to argue with this. Nobody at all. They're going to get a first round bye. Rightfully so. Can y'all see that blue pretty good? I hope so. I hope y'all can. I got the Oregon Duckies. There's nothing to say. The best team in the nation. They proved it. Beat Penn State. Yeah, that's team number 1. At number 2, I got the Georgia Bulldogs. Enough said. They won the SEC. They get the first round bye. At number 3 is where things kind of get controversial. And I know people are going to be like, whoa. Let me explain this. Just because I have them at number 3, it's not because I think they're the 3rd best team in the nation. I don't. You have to give them a first round bye because they won their conference. This may shock some of y'all, but gotta do what I gotta do. I got the Fighting Ashton Genties. You got to, okay? They got to be somewhere in here. I got them at 3. They look really good. And their loss, I hate to say that, there's no moral victories to me. I don't do moral victories. But they lost to Oregon by 3. Outside of Ohio State, they played them the best. I give them a ton of credit. They've just taken care of business all season long. They won their conference. I got them at number 3. Maybe some people argue with that. I don't know. You could have them at 4, but the team I got at number 4 leads me to my next point perfectly. It's either got to be Arizona State, Clemson, or Boise, by the way. So it's not like you got a lot to choose from. Neither of them teams are actually top 5 teams. Or the 5th team will get a number 12 or 11, wherever. I got Arizona State. They demolished Iowa State. And to me, if you either got to put Clemson or Arizona State here, I think Arizona State is better than Clemson. Therefore, I got them there. Let me remind y'all, Clemson ain't even a top 15 thing. They're ranked 17th in the nation. Okay? Arizona State was ranked higher than them. I viewed Arizona State as a better team heading into a day, and Arizona State just millywhopped their competition. Clemson struggled with SMU. I'm going with the Sun Devils. Congratulations to them. I'll clap it up to them on a great season, impressive win. That's my top 4. We got the Duckies, shout out to the Ducks. Boise State, the Fighting Ashton Genties. Georgia, the Bulldogs, shout out to them. And the Sun Devils. Any arguments? Well, I won't know until I post this video, but I'm sure there is. Let's get into the juicy stuff, though. 5 through 12. I'm thinking, what do y'all think? Yeah, let's start off with 5 and we'll work our way down because that's where the controversial stuff is. We'll save the best for last is what the committee's going to do. At number 5, I believe I had them at number 4 in my rankings last week. But, and this is where things can kind of get confusing for the casual, and I don't mind it. There's nothing wrong with being a casual. I'll explain it to you. I got Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame better than Boise State and Arizona State? Yes, in my humble opinion. However, they have to get buys. Notre Dame can't get a bye because they're not in a conference. Why is Notre Dame not in a conference? I don't know. I don't know. Different conversation for a different day. Doesn't make any sense. How is it 2024? It's about to be 2025. You're not in a conference. It's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. But the committee is kind of penalizing them for it. They say, all right, guess what? That's cool. You can still make the play, but you're not getting a bye. Notre Dame, if they would have been in a conference, would have won a championship, they would have got a bye. They're not in a conference. They had to play in week 1, which they're not complaining. They're in the playoff. Congratulations. They had a good season outside of the loss to Northern Illinois, which seems like it happened forever ago. It doesn't seem like it happened this season. But amongst all the chaos, ain't really too bad compared to some other teams. I know it seems bad, but they're still in the playoffs, so it's like it never happened. Think about it. If Notre Dame would have won out, the highest they could have been ranked is 5th. And they lost to Northern Illinois, and they're still 5th. So technically, now that I think about it, it is like the loss didn't happen. But yeah, I got them at 5. Nobody's going to complain with that. Number 6. I got filled up the entire box. I spit there. Little Bro State. Clap it up. Nice little golf clap to Ohio State. Honestly, just between me and you, I feel like we should put Michigan there, but we kind of can't do that because Michigan lost like 5 or 6 games. We got the fraud himself, Ryan Day, and Little Bro State. Do they deserve to be in this playoff? No. I mean, you lost to Michigan. I know it's a rival game, but no Ohio State fan feels good. They don't feel good about this season. You can't beat Big Bro. So it's kind of weird. It's a disappointing season, but you're in the playoff, and technically, you can still win a national championship, but as long as that fraud named Ryan Day is coaching Little Bro State, they ain't winning nothing. So, congrats, I guess. It's just, okay, who are they going to lose to? Are they going to lose in the first round, second round? It really don't matter now that I think about, whoa, look at this. That would mean Little Bro State, if they win, they get a cupcake in Boise State. Whew. It don't matter. They'll eventually lose. They're not going to win a championship with Ryan Day. That's the same head coach who lost by 40 to Alabama in the national championship. It could have been worse. So congrats to them. It's kind of one of those things where like Ohio State has to be in the playoff, but don't feel too good about it. At number 7, and I have them behind Little Bro State because they don't have a top 25 win. Can y'all see that? Oh, yeah. We're chilling, big chilling. At the Texas Longhorns. Fun fact for you, like I just said, Texas does not have a top 25 win. Can you believe that? Wow. That's the same argument against Indiana and SMU, but we don't talk about Texas shouldn't be in the playoff. Hey, do as you please with that information. Texas is going to be in. I don't think they're better than Little Bro State, but I think they're better than some of the teams behind them. They just can't beat Georgia. Georgia has their number. Georgia beat them with the backup quarterback today. And I know some Texas fans probably try to argue and say, well, if they kept Timmy Beck in there, Texas probably would have won. To each their own, but you still lost. It's 2 losses to Georgia. You have 0 good wins. I got you at number 7. At number 8, I strongly, and I mean strongly, considered putting this team above Texas, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't. It's close for me. It's a coin toss. But neither of these fan bases are going to be mad 7 or 8. I got the Tennessee Volunteers. I love this Tennessee football team, man. By the way, ready for a hot... I don't think it's a hot take, but some of you are. I don't think it's a hot take. Mic up for this. Tennessee has the best running back in the nation. And yes, I know Ashton Genty's still playing college football. Dylan Sampson is the best running back in the nation. Better than Ashton Genty. Some of you are going to say, but Matt, Ashton Genty has 8 200-yard rushing games. And yes, he does. He has had a fantastic season, but he's not better than Dylan Sampson. Don't be a casual and just look at his numbers. He's playing in the Mountain West, beyond awful conference. They suck, and he's getting 40 carries a game. He's good, but he ain't better than Dylan Sampson. Put Dylan Sampson in the Mountain West, give him 40 carries a game, see what numbers he put up. And vice versa. Put Ashton Genty in the SEC. You really think he's going to have 8 200? No. He probably not going to have more than 2. Might not have more than 1. Ashton Genty ain't better than Dylan Sampson. But this is not a Heisman rant. Getting kind of late. I need to hurry up here. Sorry, I know it's going to take longer. It's most definitely going to take longer than last year's, but it's just because instead of 4 teams, we have 12. And I'm trying to explain these, but do it short, simple, and sweet possible, but also give you a good explanation. At number 9, they're going to be playing the Tennessee Volunteers. I got the irrelevant, I've been saying this for years, 10 years at that, irrelevant Penn State. I don't take Penn State serious. I've been saying on the channel, I'm going to continue to say it. I don't take them serious or irrelevant. They can't beat a top 10 team, top 5 team. Till they do, I ain't got nothing to say about them. They're irrelevant. Let's get on to number 10. At number 10, this team has a 0%, not even 0.00001. I'm talking about a 0% chance of winning the playoff. But we got to put them in because we feel obligated to. I'm just playing. It's a joke. Calm down. I think they're a good team. They're not great. They're good, though. I know they ain't played this stiff as a competition, but I like this team. I got the fighting Kurt Sinettis. They'll be playing. I'm just making sure you can see that. The Texas Longhorns. They don't stand a chance against Texas. Where Indiana lacks is in the trenches, and you can see it. You saw it against Little Bro State. I think they're a playoff team, a legit playoff team, because they just handle it. Dude, I'm still so impressed. I know Nebraska sucks booty juice. But beating Nebraska by 50, a 50 burger is crazy. Ohio State beat them by like, what was it, 4 or 3? I know you can't do that whole comparison game, but still, they destroyed them. Indiana they took care of business. I know Little Bro State blew them out. I still think it's a playoff team. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. You got to put Indiana in. It's got to be, or they got to be somewhere in your bracket. I think they're legit. When I say legit, let me clarify. They're just a good team. They're not like a great team. Like I said, 0% chance to win this thing. Here we go, though. The last 2 spots. Wow, we've really flown through this. Oh, man. This is where things get controversial. It's down to 3 teams. You know which teams. SMU. I don't know why I pointed there. SMU, Alabama, and Clemson. Those are 3 teams. Personally, I said this last week. I will continue to say it. Or not continue to say it. I'm trying to just quit talking about it because it's irrelevant. I think South Carolina should have got, heading into last week, that final spot over Alabama. I think South Carolina's better than Bama, but there's no need to talk about that because South Carolina doesn't have a chance. It's either Alabama or SMU for the final spot because Clemson's going to be here somewhere. And number 12, I got the Fighting Dabo Swings. Nice little golf club, nothing too crazy. Does Clemson deserve to be in this playoff? No. You got curb stomped by Georgia. Louisville demolished you on your home field, and then South Carolina beat you on your home field. If I was a South Carolina fan, I'd be sick to my stomach watching Clemson get in this playoff. Not that Clemson didn't earn their way in, because technically they did. But good gosh almighty, the ACC sucks. It's beyond suck. Like, Gosh, they are awful. It even pisses me off to think about how bad they are. That is a terrible conference. It's not even the sorry and sucky ACC. I don't even know what we should call it. They are bad. I'm not even talking about Clemson. I'm talking about the conference. It's atrocious. But you're in it, and I'll clap it up again. You won your conference. And I had some people on Twitter tweeting at me saying, well, Matt, I don't think Clemson should jump 5 spots and get it. Dude, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, buddy, but it don't matter what you think. Clemson getting in. It don't matter if you got it. Well, they're not going to be number 1. But they got to be somewhere in here, 2 through 12. They got to be in here. So you can be mad at it. You can not like it. I don't really like it because if we're being honest, South Carolina, who just beat Clemson on home field, should get in over Clemson. But Clemson won a championship. So Clemson's got to be in there somewhere. I got my number 12, the very last spot. They'll be playing Notre Dame. Interesting matchup. Very interesting matchup. Penn State, Tennessee. Clemson, Notre Dame. Who is Little Bro State going to play? You know, it comes down to 2 teams. 2 teams left. We got Alabama, the team that everybody hates. You're watching this video, and when I said Alabama, your blood started boiling. You hate Alabama. You got Bama fatigue. You hate them guys. You hate Nick Saban. Yeah, well, you probably don't hate Nick Saban, but you get my point where I'm going with this. You just don't like Alabama. You're tired of them being the best. You're tired of them Donkey Kong smashing everybody, being the best college football team the past 15 years. Fortunate enough for Alabama fans, you can now lose up to 3 games. Lose to Vandy and Oklahoma and still potentially get in this playoff. Now, this would have been a very simple video, and I probably could have uploaded it earlier because I wouldn't have to do a lot of thinking and looking at stuff. Because if SMU would have beat Clemson, it's simple. We probably put it wherever. SMU, Bama. But since Clemson won, you see we got a nice little argument on our hands because, well, I'm sure y'all have seen the post. SMU does not have a top 25 win. 0-2! And if you look at their schedule, let's pull it up. Why don't we in live time? This is important, so I think we should spend some time talking about it. If I can pull up SMU's schedule, that'd be great. SMU this year beat Nevada by 5, lost to BYU, who's overrated, beat TCU, the Seminoles, beat Louisville by 7, which is their best win, but still an unranked team. Stanford beat Duke in overtime by 1, beat Pittsburgh, Boston College, Virginia, California, and lost to Clemson. They played 2 top 25 teams and lost both of them. Alabama is 3-1 against top 25 teams. Beat is going to help them out a lot. They beat Georgia, SEC champs. They beat Missouri, and they beat South Carolina. And they lost to Tennessee. 3-1 top 25 games, and I already know what everyone's screaming. Trust me, I know. I've said it too. They lost to Oklahoma, and they lost to Vandy. I know. You got to say it in the comment section. I've said it myself, and we all know. 2 terrible losses. However, you have an argument for Bama. They have 3 really great wins. Or I'd say 2 really great wins. South Carolina, Georgia, and Missouri's like, whatever. Still a top 25 team, though. SMU, when you try to make an argument for SMU, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter do this, people ask them, well, why do you think SMU should be in? And the first thing they point to, and it's baffling, is, well, Alabama lost to Vandy and Oklahoma. No. I think you're confused, buddy. That's not the question. What's your argument for SMU? Oh, well, Alabama lost to Vandy. No. I know Alabama's got 3 losses. I know Alabama didn't win the conference championship. I know they ain't looked good all year long, but what is your argument for SMU? Nobody has one. They just point to what Bama has done, all the bad things, which I get, but you look dumb. You look like an idiot. What has SMU done? And I'm asking you. Nothing. They've done nothing. You can't point to anything, and I hate it for them. I said this in a video Friday night, which was last night. You'll be seeing this video probably early Sunday morning. Technically, it'd be uploaded Sunday morning, but Saturday night for me. I hate, whether y'all believe this or not, because y'all know I'm a Bama fan, it's not some hidden secret. I hate the fact that SMU is playing on championship weekend and could actually, and not just could, but did hurt their chances of making this playoff. I hate that. Because meanwhile, Alabama is eating cheesy puffs on the couch. I hate it. But if the goal is to put the best 12 teams in the playoff, you see what I'm saying? It's like, do we really think SMU is one of the... I know, I hate that it hurts. I do. Y'all don't understand how much I hate to sit here and say, man, that hurts their case losing to Clemson, but it did. Because think about it, guys. Clemson was the 17th ranked team in the nation. And here's what really hurt SMU a lot. If Clemson was ranked like, I was going to say top 3, not even top 3, they were ranked in the top 10, and they lost even by 10 points, they'd be in this thing easy peasy lemon squeezy. Because the committee views Clemson as a playoff team. But the committee obviously does not view Clemson as a playoff team. They got them ranked 17th in the nation. So, think about this. It's not a very train of thought. SMU just lost to a team that isn't even close in the committee's eyes to being a playoff team. Not a good look for them. Not a good look at all. It's not like you lost to Oregon. It's not like you lost to Georgia. You lost to Clemson, who's pretty mid this year. I struggle even saying they're slightly above that. They're just mid. That's what Clemson is. So, yeah, there's not really an argument for SMU. And I tried, as soon as the game was over, I was like, okay, what do I point to if I want to throw SMU in here? Louisville, that's not a ranked team. There's just nothing. I guess you point to the Louisville game, but what are we doing? It's not a top 25 team. With Bama, you do have the argument. They lost their games. Okay, whatever. But hey, they beat the SEC champs. They beat Missouri. That's a top 25 team. And they beat South Kakalaki. So there is an argument for Bama. And what really does, or what makes things interesting is, so the committee actually kind of set it up to where they have an argument for Bama. They didn't rank Louisville. So that really helps Alabama's case. Louisville's not a ranked team. And also, it's kind of a similar thing as Miami. The committee's whole reasoning for having Alabama jump. Sorry, guys, I'm running out of time here. Let me reset the game. Okay, we're back at it like we didn't miss. The whole reasoning the committee put Alabama ahead of Miami is because, this is what he said, word for word, the chairman. Miami was 0-1 in top 25 matchups. Alabama was 3-1. That was a deal breaker. Well, it's the same thing. SMU's 0-2 in top 25 matchups. Alabama's 3-1. So if the committee is they told us last week they value top 25 matchups and wins and strength of schedule. Going off of the committee's logic, it's looking like they're going to put Alabama in. That's me assuming what the committee's going to do. Now, this isn't what I think is going to happen. These are my rankings. So it ain't looking good for SMU. And I don't really know why the notion on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, like everybody's like, oh yeah, SMU's locked in. Are you sure about that? Locked in. Because I know like everybody thought, oh, if SMU, even if they lose close, they're getting in. No. Miami lost close to Syracuse, buddy, and they got booted out. But then I know people's rebuttal is going to be, well, that's different. This was the ACC championship. Well, here's my rebuttal to that. I personally viewed SMU like Boise State. Boise State strength of schedule, 85th. SMU strength of schedule, 76. Similar. Boise State, let me riddle you this. If they would have lost to UNLV, they would have made the playoff. So why would, you see what I'm saying? Why would, or we sitting up here saying, or some people sitting up here saying, well, it doesn't matter what happens in the ACC championship. SMU's locked in. No, that doesn't make sense because Boise State, terrible strength of schedule, wasn't locked in. So why would SMU be locked in? You ain't done nothing. So the only thing you did was lose to BYU by 3. Boise State lost to Oregon by 3. That's a way better look. And Boise State still would have been booted out. So I don't know why people think SMU's locked in this thing. They're not locked in. They still may make it, but it's going to be a closer, I guess you'd say, call than what a lot of people think. Now for me, and I know I keep talking, I'm just trying to give you some perspective, what I'm thinking and whatnot. I'm going to give you a good example. My brother's high school football team, they went 8-2 this year. Really great team, really great season. Really good team, really good season. They played a team in the first round of the playoffs that went 7-3. So kind of a similar situation. SMU 2 losses, Alabama 3. This team they played beat them by 40. They had 3 losses, and my brother team had 2. But that team played in a tougher area, region, whatever you want to call it. So in this case, in scenario, this analogy, tougher conference. So my brother's team, not to say that they didn't play in a tough area or region, but it was kind of easier than the other teams, if that makes sense. Same thing here. Yeah, Alabama does have 3 losses, But they play in a way harder conference than SMU. If SMU's in the SEC, this isn't a hypothetical, it's a fact. They don't go 10-2. They might win 8 games. Maybe not. They ain't winning 10. That's for certain. So this whole 3-loss to 2-loss thing is kind of flawed because strength of schedule matters. It does. It's way more impressive to go 9-3 in the SEC than 10-2. Or, my bad, 11-2. There we go, in the ACC. In my opinion. So you probably know where I'm going with this. I'm going to quit beating around the bush. Just trying to give y'all my reasoning. At number 11, getting the final spot in the playoffs, I got Alabama! And it was close. And it was close. We're going to act like me dropping that marker didn't happen. I got Alabama. I know y'all ain't going to believe this, but I hate it for SMU. And hey, if it was up to me, I'd have South Carolina in here, but South Carolina doesn't have a chance, so there's no point of us really talking about them. I got Alabama. And if you want the honest truth, I don't think SMU is better than Alabama, South Carolina, or Ole Miss. But that's really different. Video for a different day. I got Alabama. Does Alabama deserve to be in this playoffs? No, but neither does SMU. Hate to be a bearer of bad news, buddy. They don't deserve to be in. Clemson doesn't deserve to be in, but here we are. In this new 12-team playoff format, nobody, like these last few teams, none of them really deserve to be in. There's going to be a few teams that didn't have that great of seasons. They're going to sneak in this thing. Alabama is a much better team than SMU. And here's what it comes down to for me. Alabama can play with the big boys. They've proven that. SMU can't. You can't even beat Clemson. Clemson is mid. So I guess SMU's kind of like slightly below mid if you think about it. But yeah, Clemson, SMU, they had a decent season, but there's no point of putting them in over Alabama. There's nothing to point to, and that's what I have nothing to point to. Like, at least with Bama, I can say, oh yeah, they beat Georgia. They beat Missouri, which ain't a great win, but it's better than SMU. They ain't got nothing. SMU literally has nothing on the resume. What am I supposed to point to? You beat Nevada. You beat all these sorry cupcakes. You beat the Seminoles. You beat Virginia. You beat Cal. Those are nobodies. Cal lost to the Seminoles. You know how bad you got to be to lose to the Seminoles? Alabama should get that final spot, in my personal opinion. And that's all she wrote. Let me know your thoughts down below. But